Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Mariah and this is Bible Talk Tuesdays. Now listen, I know it's been a while and I know I missed a couple Tuesdays, but I promise you we will be getting these done every Tuesday. Today's topic is David. I'm going to tell y'all about his life, his goals, what he's done, and what character traits he's supposed to represent. So David, like many of us, was human. So he sinned. And a few of the sins he committed were adultery, murder. No, and I think that's it. But we're not getting into those two today. So David's father Jesse had 7 sons, including David. And David was the youngest. So being the youngest means you tend to have a lot more chores than the older ones. While David was out in the fields tending the sheep and all the animals and stuff, his brothers were out training to become knights and soldiers and people that fought. So there was this guy named Samuel, right? And God has been talking to this Samuel person, and he's been telling Samuel that he needs a king. He needs someone bold enough, someone loyal enough, someone strong enough to rule his kingdom, aka Israel. So God is searching. He's God, so he's all knowing. He knows everything. He's got his whole plan planned out. So he's searching and he's trying to figure out who is the perfect king-like person. And God picks David. So God sends Samuel to go appoint David as the new king. Now, one day, the Philistines come and challenge the Israelites to a duel. And the king is like, we're not going to be able to fight these giants. We need a brave warrior. We need someone that is up for the challenge, someone that will surely win. So he's looking, right? And David's like, ooh, pick me, I can do it. And the king's looking at David like, come on, really? You can do it? And has no faith in David. And David is full on, I can do it. I have God behind me. I know I have the strength. I have the courage. I may look like a shepherd boy, but I can do it. So the king's finally okay, fine, whatever. You can try. But if you get hurt or if something happens, all I'm gonna say is I told you so. So David tries on the armor and it doesn't fit him. He can't fight, he can't move, he couldn't do anything without it. And so that was his protection, that was his shield, and he can't wear that. So then the king's like, okay, no, you can't. And David's like, I can do it. I have God with me. I can totally do it. He's my shield. He's my strength. He's my weapon. And the king's just like, okay. So David goes out into the field. Goliath is the Philistine that David was supposed to fight, right? So Goliath is like, you puny, pesky, Israelite, you're really gonna fight me? And someone bring up a challenge and basically just downing on David and saying basically he can't do it, And David's like, sure. Yeah, I totally don't got this, definitely. I don't have an almighty God that I serve that is clearly behind me, ready to fight my battle for me. David picks up some stones, some little pebbles. He has his trusty slingshot. Now, mind you, David is a shepherd, so he has all these little tools and gadgets and things to help him in his shepherd days. So he pulls out a slingshot from his pocket. He pulls out a couple stones, hits Goliath with them, and Goliath is down. Goliath is defeated, okay? The Philistines are done. Israelites win. Philistines are retreating. Israelites are cheering and clapping, and everyone's praising David because no one expected him to actually win, And then David becomes king. So while David was king, he accomplished a good handful amount of things. Number one, he conquered Jerusalem. So David conquers Jerusalem. He adds Jerusalem to Israel. He defeats the Philistines, which is what we just talked about, David battling Goliath and winning, period. He expanded Israel's territories, meaning he eventually conquered more cities and added them to Israel. He could rule over a large amount of people, hopefully converting them into Christianity so that they could be closer to God, so that people could be saved, as this is everyone's purpose in life. This is why we are called. He built himself a little palace, as king. He needs a palace, because yes. He established alliances, meaning he basically, the territories he couldn't conquer, or that he made peace with them so that there wouldn't be any wars, so that they were cool. No one was there was nothing wrong with anyone and David, because he had already made alliances with them. They were all buddy. He prepared for the construction of the temple. Okay, so there was a temple for God that was a holy ground, and they kept building these temples, and different rulers kept tearing them down and bringing up different things that that weren't of God. So David finally was going to rebuild the temple. He also wrote Psalms. So if you look back at the book of Psalms, most of those are written by David, and they say it in the book or in the chapters. Most of them are written by David during his reign. Most of them are joyful, most of them are cries, most of them are prayers, most of them are him being thankful, and it's basically kind of like his diary. Okay guys, this is going to be the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. If you really enjoyed this, please subscribe, share this video to anyone you know, anyone who needs to know this story, and comment down below what stories you want to see next. Always be joyful.